guys, welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. We kicked off your week with a busy show. We spoke about private school inspections, Huda Beauty, and the viral video which had the woman's outburst.
And so if you want to listen to the podcast, don't forget to subscribe to the Lovin Dubai show podcast wherever you get your podcast from, and enjoy the show.
Good morning, Dubai. Welcome back to Lovin Dubai show, where we go through the top trending stories. If you have been off for a full 9 days, we envy you. Welcome back to Dubai. The city is buzzing, and we have our top stories. Private school inspections scrapped in Dubai for 2024 to 2025.
As well, the UAE is one of the most competitive economies in 2024.
We're speaking about Huda Beauty. She tried on a hijab for the first time in a viral video and loved it.
And as well, women's outburst at delivery rider, which, by the way, has created a buzz online. We're going to be talking all about it.
Yes, we are. It's 8:30 in the morning. We are so excited for our guest today. We have the star of hit Netflix show Heeramandi coming into the studio. Taha Shah Badussha is going to talk all about his recent walk on the Cannes red carpet, also fan love and how he responds.
It's 261 days since the genocide began on October 7 in Gaza. The current death toll stands at 37,551. The number of injured people is 85,911, and 1.9 million people have been displaced from their homes.
The weather in Dubai today should peak at 43 degrees, while we're inching ever closer to that 50 degrees Celsius mark across the country. The maximum temperature recorded over the weekend was 49.9 degrees Celsius. That was recorded by the National Centre of Meteorology in Masiriyah in Abu Dhabi on Friday. Good morning to everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, reminder, we also go live on podcast. So if you missed the show today, you can get it wherever you get your podcasts from.
But before we start, I want to say, let's talk about love. And if you, okay, I know that we said that on the show on Friday, but I was not here on Friday. I was on leave. So Casey got engaged, and congratulations, Casey, for getting engaged. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
As we say, Mabruk. And speaking of love,
yeah. I was like, is this intentional? Because the story that we'd planned to talk about was one that I actually showed my partner, because I was like, this is quite relevant because this couple, not this couple, this is a stock image.
It's just like showing you guys.
This is the anger.
Girlfriend angry at her boyfriend.
Because they'd been together for 6 years when what happened?
Well, he did not drop her to the airport, and she sued him. She sued him, and I don't know. I'm like, when I read that, I was like, oh God. I do understand some girls are petty, but
some people. Let's not generalize.
Fine, okay. Some people are petty, but are you that petty? Or do you expect princess treatment to that point that if your boyfriend does not do what you want to do and does not drop you to the airport, you sue him? That's actually incredibly insane.
I'm assuming we all sit on the same side of this argument. So according to the claim, they had a verbal agreement that he would take her to the airport, stay at her home and care for her dogs. When he didn't show up and she missed her flight, and then she had to incur additional costs for the flight, a shuttle service, and pay for dog kenneling, so she's suing him for those costs because he missed out on a verbal agreement. I mean, at that point, the relationship's over, right? Like after 6 years together, if she's going to sue him, we can say woman sues man rather than relationship, because that relationship is over. Yeah. They're never getting back after that.
But what is this relationship that you would have a verbal agreement? What, like you need a contract? Like imagine I get into a relationship and then I have a contract that I have to, I don't know. It wouldn't make sense.
I don't understand.
It's fine. What if he was busy?
What if he was busy?
What if he was tired?
I don't like the idea of what if he was tired? But if you say you're going to do something, you should do it. But I don't like the idea of bringing someone to the court for this type. Like if this passes and if she legitimately gets money off him, then therefore, Farah, if we live in that court system, you could sue me because I told you I was going to bring you to work. I didn't bring you to work. You were late. You couldn't get the metro. Then you had to get a taxi, 100 dirham, and you would take me to the courts. Like that type of society is so nitpicky, and so like I'm going to sue you if you've agreed to this verbally. And where's the proof? It's too messy.
It is too messy as like itself between two people. But he's your boyfriend and you love the person and you are taking him to court. I mean, for what? Like, actually, you know, like, what happened to giving people the benefit of the doubt?
In terms of what?
For example, like she could have like thought like, hey, maybe he's busy, maybe he has a headache,
Yeah.
maybe he's tired, maybe he's not feeling it.
We don't know what's happened. All we know is the story. She's taken him to the courts. Like, you would think that if she was that angry, that post it, he would have apologized. They would have been two humans. They would have worked it out. But clearly, I don't know the full story here. Clearly, one of these people doesn't listen to reason in some way, because surely this should have been resolved. Two humans. Why on earth put your life through the hassle of this? Right? Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. There are bigger things going on in the world. When you actually go through something, when something really challenging happens in your life, all of the silly stuff slides away, and this is silly.
I agree with you, but I would sue my boyfriend for some things.
No, you wouldn't.
I would, yeah.
Well,
some things. For example, like, I know my sister would sue me for the amount of times I would take her food.
Right.
I would sue my boyfriend if he screams at me, or if he raises his voice. I'd be like, you're sued. I'm suing you. I am suing you right now. If he breaks a promise, yeah.
Can we just like say you would leave him, block him, cancel him, do all of that, but no need to take him to the courts?
I would.
I mean, unless the damage is incurred or that you had to go to a doctor, which we hope that never has to happen. Okay, let's jump into our top story today. Teachers rejoice.
So, private school inspections scrapped in Dubai till next year. Dubai private schools will pause full inspections during the 2024 and 2025 academic year, except for new schools completing their third year of operation. However, all schools can still request a full inspection online.
If they should choose to do so. This decision, announced by the Dubai Schools Inspection Bureau, comes on the back of a high standing figures shared by the KHDA for the current academic year.
Now, the move aims to alleviate the burden on schools and allow them to focus on providing quality education to students without the added pressure of inspections during the period.
Reflecting on the past year, some key statistics from 2023-2024 are 209 private schools in total were inspected, 10 schools inspected for the first time. There were in total 19,782 classroom visits conducted, 4,400 hours of discussion with students, parents and school leaders, and 81% of students received an education rated higher, good or higher. And then finally, 83% of schools offer well-being provision rated good or higher.
Now, Dubai's private schools continue to perform exceptionally well on the global stage, ranking 6th for literacy, in the top 10 for math, and in the top 14 for science and reading. I love this, honestly, because like I grew up in Dubai. I went to school in Dubai ever since I was like a child, ever since I was a baby, and it's just like makes me like happy and proud
that they're doing so well.
Yeah.
I know it's 8:38, so teachers will probably not be watching this show because they're all in class. It generally start at 8 a.m. But my experience when I was teaching of these school inspections is just like,
really,
it's so much drama and stress, and you actually put so much work. I feel like it's like a political, you know, when you look at countries and they're going towards elections, and they put so much work into the elections. You're like, are you really thinking about your constituents? Are you really thinking about the people? Because all you're worried about is getting elected. Sometimes I think about these school inspections. You put so much work into creating that perfect classroom ecosystem for that entire week when you're being inspected by the authorities, that time and energy could be better placed elsewhere. So I think it's I think it's a shock move, and I know schools are just going to love this. Teachers are going to love it, but I also think it's a really nice practical move that, considering last year the ratings were so high, they're giving people a year
of like
a more relaxed and put your time into the kids, the resources, the classroom activities, rather than this week of inspections.
I have a question for you, since you're a teacher. Now, this is a theory that all students I think I know would agree with me on is that when we would have an inspection and KHDA would come to, inspect the school and everything, teachers would suddenly become so nice. Subhanallah. All of a sudden, they like us and they're teaching well and they are explaining the thing over and over and over again. So can you confirm that or not?
I mean, obviously.
Oh God, yeah. See you guys.
We
were right. We were right.
If you choose to, if you put a camera on anyone during their work, you'd be more conscious of what you were doing. But also, I think that teachers become nicer, but also I think when you have someone inspecting a classroom situation, kids become better too.
That's
like, I think everyone's aware of the seriousness of the situation.
That is true. Yeah.
So if you've got kids who are kind of old enough to understand what's happening, they tend to kind of like sit up properly.
And it's like, oh, I want to read.
Yeah, and I think there'd be some tactics.
Yeah.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but you nearly would, the kids might think they're being inspected as well, even if it's more of the teachers in the classroom. So everyone's on high alert for that week.
That is true. And by the way, as well, surprisingly, is that when like KHDA would come for inspection, and the school would get like good or higher, even the students get really happy. It's not only the teachers and the the administration and the whole school, but even the students get happy. They get proud.
Students would be proud. Parents, however, would not be proud because the higher rating the school is, the higher the prices and the higher the fees are. Yeah. So this also means that fees will probably not be raised for the following academic year, which is great news. Let's jump into our next story. The UAE is top 10 on a World Competitive Economy report. IMD's results were based on GDP and productivity, as well as political and social and cultural dimensions. Singapore came in at number 1, followed by Switzerland, Denmark, Ireland, Hong Kong, and Sweden. The UAE was ranked 7th.
Now, the UAE climbed up 3 spaces to the 7th position in 2024. And in terms of economic performances, government and business efficiency, and infrastructure, now the UAE has been steadily increasing, which is exciting.
We are always super proud when the UAE ranks highly on a list, but I think this shows that the economy is booming and we're not surprised about it. 100%. Should we jump into our next story that's gotten so much conversation and debate over the weekend?
So a viral video shows women's outburst at a delivery rider. A recent viral video has sparked outrage and concern over the escalating issue of anger and aggression in everyday interactions. Now, the footage shows a woman visibly upset yelling at a delivery rider.
The video, which has gained significant attention online, you can hear a voice raised while the rider just kind of stands motionless. The incident has upset many, as it's never okay to unleash your anger at some people, while others say, drivers in some cases can cause the anger.
Now, the viral video serves a powerful reminder of the importance of maintaining a respectful demeanor in all interactions. So I do understand that sometimes delivery riders can swerve. You know what I mean? And it can be really annoying. Like I have been, kind of like annoyed from time to time, like when I'd be driving and I would like suddenly see a motorcycle coming. I'd be like, oh my God, like why is this delivery rider risking his life? It's just like a delivery that he needs to deliver. I don't understand where that comes from, but at the same time, I feel like it's his job and so on. Still, it's never okay to really scream at someone. Never.
Well, I'll open this up to the comments because I think it gives a good example of the type of arguments people are making on this video. Now, it must be said, we don't know what happened pre this video. All we can see is a big SUV is parked, and then you can see, and then you can see, do you mind taking over for a second?
Yes, of course. So I want to talk about a very funny comment. Someone said Karens have officially arrived to Dubai. If you guys don't know, and you do not know the TikTok culture, and you don't know all about like the internet social media culture, what is a Karen? A Karen is someone who goes like, oh yeah, you know what? I didn't get this on time, so I want my money back.
Exactly.
And they called this lady a Karen, and they're saying Karens officially arrived to Dubai.
Yeah, look, on the side, what people are saying is, I don't think people can judge without
Yeah.
seeing why she's angry at him. Sadly, the way many of these delivery drivers ride is very unsafe. They get too close to the cars, they weave in and out of vehicles, they cut other vehicles up. If there's a bunch of them getting together, it can be awful. Look, we can all have our personal opinion. I just don't think it should get to the point that you're shouting at a person. I think in both cases, you never know the context of the type of day either person is having. So maybe we shouldn't judge. But I think there's nearly maybe a power position at play that the reason that man handled himself so well is maybe because he's got a job to
keep
to maintain. But then at the same time, if he was driving erratically, what was the cause of that? We don't know. But I would just like to hope that no matter the situation, we don't take our aggression in someone's face in that way. I think there's better ways to solve things.
I agree with you. You know what I mean? I feel like sometimes when you are in the moment or in the heat of the anger, we tend to, not everyone, you know what I mean? Like sometimes some people do tend to like not have the ability to kind of like take a step back and reflect at the situation and then speak, you know, because like as you said, it's never okay to scream at anyone. And of course he didn't reply because like he probably was like, oh, if I'm gonna reply and I'm gonna defend myself, I'm gonna be losing my job, and his boss was gonna scream at him and she was gonna complain, and it was gonna be a whole like, you know, like a whirlwind of like
It's tricky
things. It's a very tricky situation.
8:45. Let's jump in to our next story. Huda Beauty tried on a hijab. The iconic beauty entrepreneur we all know and love, Huda Katan, posted a viral video in which she wore a hijab. In the video, content creator Mariam Malik helped her put it on, and Huda commented that she hopes to wear it one day if she becomes strong enough.
Now, the post has received a mixed response, with some people saying she chose to post a video for more fame, while many jumped into back Huda saying Huda is a darling and she looks amazing with hijab, and another saying I'd love to wear it too. I think it's too beautiful and gives a woman a respectful and also magnetic aura. Islam is more than just a beautiful religion, it's a whole fascinating culture indeed.
So you made a really good point before the show, which we'll get to, but I think about the comments and the level of this got a lot of attention and some hate, right? And
that's true.
There's some of the comments that were just like, people need to relax a little bit. Like if you know Huda and the type of posts that she has done, you know, she's been so vocal on her, you know, support for Gaza. I just feel like she's quite, she's strong in who she is. And she doesn't need more fame. She doesn't post this type of video to get more fame. And people are just so quick to judge one video without really thinking about the person or the human behind it that might be reading those comments. And I just think that the internet someplace can be so negative. And I just, in this scenario, why not just take it at face value for what it is? And it's just a simple video.
I agree with you. And not only that, by the way, Casey, she's Muslim. And every Muslim girl has tried on the hijab. And not only Muslims, like I think I've seen videos on TikTok of like someone Muslim who's a guy, he has like a scarf and goes around the streets and lets women actually try on the hijab and have them like feel some kind of way. Because again, as she said, you know what I mean, like it's as you said, it's very tricky. Social media is tricky, but if you are a Muslim girl, you must have tried the hijab one way or another. We try it. We wear it when we pray, right? So, and she for sure wears it when she prays. So why is this such a big deal to people? Why are people giving her like such negative energy? If she wants to wear it, if she's trying it for this time and wants to post it on social media, she is only getting hate because she posted it on social media and because she is not a hijabi right now.
Exactly, yeah. And I think she did comment, you know, she hopes that one day she's strong enough to wear it. I think that you're so right, because we go through life and there's so many things that we all do privately and we just don't happen to post them, but she shares so much of her life online that this shouldn't be taken as something that's meant 100%. To be 8:48, guys. We are so excited for our next guest, Taha Shah Badussha. We're going to talk all things Cannes, his latest moment on Heeramandi, which is the biggest Netflix show from India right now, and also fan love. He has a lot of fan love. We're going to get to the bottom of it. Back to the Lovin Dubai show. Today we are so excited to welcome star of hit Netflix series Heeramandi. He has fans all over the world falling for him. Welcome to the show, Taha Shah. Badussha, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much. Such an honor to be here. I mean, Dubai is hometown, and this is my first time ever with you guys. Such an honor. Thank you for having me.
So great.
Thank you for being here. So before the show, we figured that you were born in Abu Dhabi. So if you can give us like a brief of your background and ever since you were born in Abu Dhabi.
Well, there's too much of my background. I've been here 20 years. I mean, I lived here. So I was born in Abu Dhabi, and my parents are from here. They're doctors, and my mom's a biochemist. And then we shifted off to Dubai and Sharjah, where I studied in a school called Shoifat.
I was a Shoifat teacher.
All right, Shoifat teacher. All right.
But Shoifat is like super intense, and your parents were biochemists and doctors. Like,
yeah, no, I mean, I think Shoifat. I mean, as much as it was intense, I feel that it had a lot of great education. Because it kind of it taught you A levels, O levels, all the levels, all the levels, right? So you're always either doing AMSs or you're doing quizzes and tests every week. So it was definitely quite intense, and I wasn't the best student, to be honest. All right, sorry, teacher. All right, but I really tried my best. But to be very honest, I think Dubai has formed me to be the person that I am, and I'm very, very grateful that I was actually born over here because it has a lot of rules and regulations, but when you're growing up, I think it's very important for kids to have rules and regulations. And now that I go back to India, like I never drank until I was like, 22, 23, right? I never even tasted it. And it kind of imbibes those good kind of discipline in you. So I believe that Abu Dhabi and Dubai is really an incredible place to stay.
so interesting, and I also agree with the focus for kids. So, kids, if you're listening, do your studies, work hard. You'll become the star of a Netflix show. But if your parents were, I guess, down the medical route, and then you said did you just one day say, "I'm into acting, I want to do it," and how did they respond?
They're actually very open-minded, to be very honest, and my mother, she actually when I was actually doing business for about 3 years because I dropped out of university and I was helping her out and I was understanding. But when you're in Dubai, you do real estate, you do construction, that's what you do. And at one point of time, I was trading in steel and cement. And when the financial crisis hit, that's when I realized that I can't deal in money, right? Money is just not my thing. I need to deal in talent, in creative, in performing arts. So when I decided to go and tell my mom that I wanted to join New York Film Academy, which was opened up in Abu Dhabi, she was like, please go and join it. In fact, it was me who couldn't take the initiative because I was scared. I didn't have the courage to actually step out of my comfort zone. But it was my mom who actually dragged me out of my room from Sharjah and drove to Abu Dhabi and got me registered and then just left me there. I was literally in my pajamas and she's like, I'm going to go back, I'm going to get you your clothes and I'm going to get you your, some food, start your education in acting. But for the first time in my life, when I joined that place, I felt like I belong. I never felt like I belonged either in school or in university or working. In fact, my business, I never felt I belonged, but I finally felt like I belonged with the film industry.
What do you think your mom saw that made her drag you out of your bed in your PJs back down to Abu Dhabi?
I think it was, if I go back, I think it was my mom's. The films in India are really big, all right? Yeah. Even right now, everybody, there's a kind of like a bug in all of us that we want to be on TV, that we want to be famous, so we want recognition. And I think that was there for my mom, but she didn't have the resources. And her parents at that time, as conservative as they were, they decided not to let her go. So I think it's like a circle of life that when I actually decided to tell her that this is something that I'm maybe passionate about, she completely kind of saw herself in me. And I think that's what actually allowed her to take that initiative where she kind of just pushed me out and she's like, please go and see what you can do. And I'm so glad that today I'm able to make her proud.
What a story.
It's interesting because like her hard work and your hard work, both of it came together and manifested, and you are the big star for the hit Netflix show Heeramandi, right?
Yeah, it is definitely my mom's manifestation. 100%.
Yeah. So if you can tell us about like how did it come? You know, that you are now the head star of the Netflix show, and like did you audition? How was the experience? If you can give us like walk us through.
It was quite a. I mean, I've been in the industry for about 14 years now, right? I've been around. I've been making my ways, hustling my way through. But this happened all by chance, to be very honest. I mean, it was me and my friend who kind of almost kind of chased down the casting director for 15 months, just begging her to just give us any role, please.
Wow.
Right? And when she decided to, she gave me a role for 3 days. It was a 3-day role. And I said, no problem. You know, all I need is one scene, and if the incredible Mr. Sanjay Leela Bhansali decides that this guy is good, maybe in his next show or his next film, he might increase my role, make me a bigger character. I said, okay, let's go. So I signed the contract, you know, and as God wanted it, I guess Mr. Bhansali called me back, and he's like, he just talked to me, and then he decided to give me a bigger role, which was a role of a revolutionary in the series. And I was very happy because mostly in my life that never used to happen, right? So I was like, all right, this is a good chance, you know. So I went, I did the look test, passed that round, was about to sign the contract about 2-3 weeks later, and then I get a call back from him again. And he's like, I mean, from his office, and they're like, I'm sorry, but sir kind of changed his mind. So I'm like, dude, I'm going to lose out on this. I'm sure, because this always happens when something good happens, something bad happens, right? So I said, you know what, this is life, no problem. I will accept it. I'll go back to the 3-day role. I went up to him. He called me for a meeting. I said, sir, look, I really apologize if I did something wrong. I don't know what I did, but if I did, I'm sorry. Please don't take me out, because this is the biggest opportunity of my life, all right? Please. And he was very kind, very generous. He said, please have a seat. So I sat down, and he basically said that, I saw your look test. You've done really well. And I see something in your eyes. I want you for the lead of my show.
Ooh.
So, yeah, like I said, fate. And I don't know. It's just Mr. Bhansali. And only a person of his caliber would be able to pinpoint on somebody who really has nothing and put him at this pedestal.
This is
It was meant to be.
It was meant to be. Like he's the Spielberg of India,
100%,
right?
100%.
What was that like for you? Because this feels like the magical moment in any actor's career.
Yeah, no, I think at that moment of time I was completely. I think I thought he was pulling my leg, right? I was completely shocked, to be very honest, and I didn't react to him. So he's like, "You don't want it." I said, "I don't understand what's exactly happening right now, sir. I'm so sorry." And then he's like, Go downstairs and take the audition script." And then the audition process started, which actually went on for quite some time. But past those rounds, and then I had to wait for 3 months with radio silence. I had no idea whether I was going to get it or not. I even called the casting director, and I'm like, "Look, I don't want the lead role. You know, give me the other role, or I'm going to die from a heart attack. You know, please just give me that. Shouldn't be that you cast somebody for that, and he decides to go with somebody else for this." And I'm left nowhere, you know. So, but I just waited for 3 months. Nobody got back to me, and finally, I had an opportunity in front of me, which I got 3 projects, one international project, which was giving me good money as well. And here I had radio silence. I had nothing, right? So I asked my mom, "What should I do?" She's like, "Whatever your heart says, go ahead and do it." So I'm like, projects and money? Nothing. Which one should I take? You know, so I'm like, okay, I guess I'll go with nothing.
Nothing.
You know, and the hope. And I left these 3 projects. I canceled them, and literally 3 days prior to that, after that, I get a call from Mr. Bhansali, and he's like, "You're my Tajdar, come to set."
Wow.
Wow.
So
what a story.
Yeah, man. At that moment of time, I was like, "Oh my God, which one?" Yeah.
That's amazing that you were turning down projects to get there.
I mean, honestly, this is the most exciting things.
Yeah.
This is honestly, it was like meant to be, and you must. I think you for sure thank your mom a lot for, I would say, you know, like having you go there. But I have a question. We love the drama, so it's like a bit of a question that's not very dramatic. But who did you enjoy working with most?
On set.
On set.
I mean, of course. I mean, I guess I spent the most amount of time with Charmin, who's my romantic interest in the series. So definitely, it has to be her. But I think the closest connection that I had was with my grandmother, Farida Jalal. I think because I mean, first of all, she's a veteran in the industry. She's been there for 50 plus years, and very inclusive, very warm, very loving. Has great stories, right, from her past, and I think my best, very free flowing relationship was with her. But of course, my longest time was with Sharmin, and I think she's incredible.
And on set, did you guys have a feeling that this would become one of the biggest Netflix shows? Did you know it was happening?
Well, it was Mr. Bhansali, like you just said, he's a Spielberg of our country. I mean, it really can't get bigger than that. It's Netflix and it's Mr. Bhansali put together. So, and he leaves no stone unturned when he's shooting, as you can see. So, no, we were definitely hoping that it would reach the audience like it already has. Of course, you never know the end and what happens, but of course, we had a hint that this is going to be the biggest series that comes out of India, and it clearly is. So again, all thanks to Netflix and Mr. Bhansali. I mean, if they both weren't put together, this wouldn't be as iconic as what it is.
And a great team.
Yes, of course, of course.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're so happy for you. But of course, you know, it's all amazing and everything worked out in your favor. But there must have been a struggle coming through. So if you can mention like a struggle that you have went through throughout your career.
Throughout my career.
And specifically with this show.
Oh my God. Throughout my career, there's too many struggles, to be honest. It's the struggles of, first of all, struggles of being a kid from the Gulf and trying to just kind of adapt to being a person from Mumbai, you know, understanding the lingo, understanding the way people behave with each other, understanding how you should be behaving with everyone else. It's a very different scenario, very different environment. Right, so that was my first struggle. The second struggle was to understand. So in UAE, all the films that release over here are top-notch films. They're from the biggest producers, biggest directors, right? So we as audience always get to see the cream, right? When you go there, you understand that the industry is not just that. That's just the tip of the iceberg, right? There's so much more that you don't know, right? You don't understand the trade. You don't understand the terminology. You don't know the people. You don't have relationships, right? So much. Those are all struggles, each individual. Then finally, you also understand that you don't have enough talent, right? And you got to start working on your talent. You might be an okay actor, sure, but our industry demands dance. Our industry, you know, demands action. Our industry demands a lot more skills than just being an actor. So you have to then train in that. Those are your other struggles. Then finally being able to actually get into the right rooms, you know, getting those auditions. You know, many people initially, in my initial years, nobody believed in auditions because it was all about being at the right place at the right time. Somebody sees you and it's like, you're my star. That never happens. That does not happen, right? There are too many people and there's too much competition. So how do you break through that competition is another struggle, right? And then finally you understand there's certain things that you can pick up, there's certain things that you shouldn't pick up if you want to go in a certain direction, right? Not everything's about money, so you've got to sacrifice a lot, live a few years or many years, like, you know, that you don't want to, but you have to if you want to reach where you want to reach, right? So there's sacrifices, and not only in work, but also sacrifices in the struggles of leaving your friends, not trying to hang out with your friends, not trying to hang out with incredibly beautiful women, right? You have to sacrifice. You got to keep sacrificing all those things and be disciplined and wake up in the morning and kind of hit the dart in the dark, because you never know where it's going to land. You just keep hitting, and one day, in the hopes and in you know, you trust the process that if I keep putting in the effort, it's all going to compound one day, and you are going to get somewhere, right? So I think all of these are individual struggles that you need to face on a daily basis, and you wake up every morning thinking like, oh man, I don't want to do this, but you just got to keep doing it, man. That's the struggle. Every day you open your eyes, you're like, I have to go for training now. I don't want to go for training now, but you have to get up and do it, you know, no matter what. So yeah.
Thank you so much for that, like, incredibly open and honest answer. I really feel like I felt your struggle in the last 14 years. But it brought you to this point and it compounded, and now people all over the world love you. We call this Taha Shah love from fans. So one of the comments on your recent post is, I fall short of words when it comes to compliments for you. You're the most handsome man alive in the universe.
No.
What's it like getting comments like that?
See, I'm not much into looks. I think that looks are God-given, right? I personally prefer comments when people say that your craft is incredible. I have spent so many years, kind of, hitting on my craft and trying to sharpen it. I'm going to courses all over the globe. I've done 15 courses in acting throughout the globe, and I believe that's what makes me, right? Looks and everything else is great. I mean, thank you for thinking I'm handsome, which is amazing, which is really amazing. But when people compliment me about my hard work, when people compliment me that you inspire us with your hard work, with your relentless attitude, your resilience, those things are mine because those are my choices, right? So yeah, I mean, I feel great. But the other compliments that I get are even more precious.
What's that?
Now, fans love you, but do you love someone?
Do I love someone? I love my mom.
No, I think you know what I mean.
No, I think I've been there, done that. I've broken my heart too many times. I feel that in such a fast-paced world at this moment of time, giving your heart away is very fickle because it's a right swipe, left swipe kind of a world at the moment, right? So it's not the way it used to be, right? When I was growing up, early 2000s, late 90s, right? There was no Instagram. There was all these apps. Nothing was so easily accessible. And you actually value relationships. You value love letters. You value when you go and you write, T loves this or T loves that. You value that things, right? And at this moment of time, it's like, oh, not you, then somebody else. Not somebody else, then somebody else. So it's very fickle. It's very difficult to find the right person that you actually want to give your heart to. And sometimes when you do give your heart, they play soccer with it. So it's like right now, I think God has given me an opportunity to help my family and help my team, help myself to reach heights in life so that I can give back to society. And I think that's my first love. Really just kind of completely married and with my passion at the moment.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned the sacrifices over the years, and I have to ask, what do you think is the biggest personal sacrifice you have made to get to where you are now professionally?
The biggest sacrifice, I guess, would have to be not making friends, not basically sacrificing your personal life to being where I want to be. Many a times, loneliness can hit you, right? But that's the sacrifice you gotta make because people can be a distraction, right? Everybody has things going on in their life, right? I don't want to complain about my life. I don't want to put it on you, and I don't want you to put it on me, right? So I'm good. So I rather just stay away from people. Not that I don't like them. I love them. I go out. I network. I do what I need to do, but I don't open up, right? And I don't expect anybody else to open up to me either. I think it's very I think that's mostly the sacrifice. So because you don't have that, then you don't hang out. Then you don't go for you don't go out to, let's say, Thailand or wherever you want to go with your friends because you're then alone, right? And you finally understand that this journey is alone. Your journey, not only this, your journey in life is alone, right? So you got to make peace with yourself. I think that's the biggest sacrifice because it's not easy to do. It's not easy to just be at home all the time. It's not easy to wake up in the morning for your classes. It's not easy. Who doesn't want to go party? Who doesn't want to go have a good time, good night, right? You know what I mean? But those are the main sacrifices that you need to let go of. If you let go of that, then automatically I think you fall into a well-disciplined life because and I'm a big follower of a lot of these motivational videos that I watch online, and I keep watching it. And one of it said that you have two pains in life, the pain of regret or the pain of discipline. So you got to choose what you want, right? So by the end of it, in the long term, short-term pleasures are great, but the long term, which is going to take you a while, those things that's your legacy.
Love that.
You mentioned earlier there's a lot of competition.
Yeah.
But comes with that, a lot of people who would, or I would say aspiring actors, who would want to make their way in the industry. So if you could give them one advice, what would it be?
Just one advice just won't make it, to be honest. But one thing is, if you start waking up at 7 o'clock, things just kind of fall into place. You know what I mean? Early mornings, what do we hear? The early bird catches the worm.
Yes.
It's like that. So my mom always says that nothing good happens at night. All right. So you better get some rest. Also, if you sleep well, you stay younger for a longer time. You recover faster. So then you don't go out. That means you don't drink. You don't drink. You don't do. You don't do the stuff that's not good for you. You don't eat fast food. All of the things just kind of fall into place if you wake up early. It's like one kind of a secret. And then of course when you wake up, you just can't sit at home. You got to take the actions, of course, but I'm just saying that's one thing that I would recommend is wake up early and start your day. It almost feels like you got 2 days if you wake up at 7. So I swear to God, like sometimes I wake up at like 11. If I ever woke up, I feel like I'm catching up to things, right? But if I wake up at like 6:37, I feel like, this is great. I can do everything that I want and more.
I haven't met your mom, but I think I love her. And I have to say thank you. I feel like that interview was so insightful. And for anyone who's just tuning in, please rewatch it later. It'll be on our YouTube for sure. The star of Netflix show, Heeramandi, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. It was such an honor. Thank you for having me.
Taha Shah, thank you, Farah, for being here this morning as well. It brings us to the end of the show. We're back with you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Have a brilliant Monday. Bye-bye.